In this complex number session, we are going to discuss some problems with I powers, which are all some tricks we have to follow, but they are all very simple. Now let's see a small problem, that is I to the power minus 2009. Now, as we have seen already, the powers of I only with positive. So let us do a small thing. Let us make this as 1 divided by I to the power 2009 according to algebraic formula. Now, as I told you, it is better to keep I to the powers with even powers. So we can write this I to the power 2009 as I to the power 2008 into I. If we simplify this I to the power 2008, we will get the answer as 1. Let us see how we are getting that answer as 1. That is, I power 2008 can be written as I square the whole power 1004. If you multiply these two, you will get the answer 2008, because a to the power m, the whole power n is a to the power m into n. Right. So I power 2008 can be written as I square the whole power 1004. You know, the value of I square is minus 1, so we can write this as minus 1 to the power 2004. Right. Minus 1 to the power 1004 is nothing but plus 1. So I to the power 2008 is nothing but 1. So instead of this I to the power 2008, we have written 1. For this I, it is I. So the answer is 1 divided by I. As I told you, you should not have any complex number in the denominator. So let us do one thing. Let us take conjugate to this I, that is minus I by minus I. Now there is no need of doing in such a way because it is a single element I. If you want, you can do it as minus I by minus I. Otherwise, simply you can put I by I. So if you simplify it, your answer will be 1 into I by I into I square, that is I by minus 1, because the value of I square is minus 1. So I by minus 1, your answer will be minus I. So it's very simple. So whenever a power comes in negative, don't worry, make it as positive by bringing it to the denominator, then make the power to be in even, then try to make that as I square to the power of something. Then you can proceed. It is very, very simple. So let's go to do some more sum in the same type, but not with powers with the negative, but more powers. Right. Let us consider a problem. Sigma n is equal to 1 to 12 I to the power n. What do you mean by this? The meaning is, this is a summation problem. First one, you have to take the power as 1, so I power 1, then addition, then I power 2, then I power 3, like that the power n will be going on up to 12. So the problem is I to the power 1 and it goes up to I to the power 12 like this. Right. Now let us try to simplify this. If you see, this is a somewhat very big sum. Right, but that is a technique. Just listen here. Let us try to find what is the value of I power 3, because I power 1 is I square is minus 1, that is not a matter. Let us try to find I power 3. So if you try to find the value of I power 3, that is nothing but I square into I square value is minus 1, so minus 1 into I is minus I. So I cube can be written as minus I. The similar way, let us try to find the value of I power 4. I power 4 can be written as I square into I square, that is minus 1 into minus 1. Your answer is plus 1. So I power 1 is I square is minus 1, I cube is minus I, and I power 4 is 1. Keep these things in the mind. Right, if you try to make this I power 5, if you try to find the value of I power 5, don't worry, it is very simple. No need of proceeding in the same way. This I power 5 can be written as I power 4 into I. This I power 5 can be written as I power 4 into I. But you know the value of I power 4 is 1. So this I power 5 is nothing but simply I. So now you can understand the same sum repeats again. Here it is I, here it is minus 1, here it is minus I, here it is 1. If I go to I power 5, it is nothing but I power 4 into I power 4 value is 1, so 1 into I is I. So I power 5 becomes 1. I. If you try to find I power 6 value, that is also very simple. That is I power 4 into I square. Your I power 4 value is 1. So 1 into I square is I square. For I power 5 we got the answer as I. For I power 6 we got the answer as I square. Similarly, if you try it for I power 7, you will get the answer as I power 3. And for I power 8, again you'll get the answer as I power 4. So if the power goes continuously, we can change, we can simplify in this methodology. In this method we can do it. So if you try to simplify this, that is, let us try to find the value for first 4 terms. That is I plus I square plus I cube plus I power 4. I is I square is minus 1, and I cube is minus I, and I power 4 is plus 1. If you add these 4 terms, your answer becomes 0. You may think, why I'm doing just taking these 4 terms alone? Already, as I told you, the same 4 term repeats. The same 4 term will also repeat here. For example, you think like this. You consider I power 10. I power 10 is nothing but I power 8 into I power 2. I power 4 value is 1. So surely I power 8 value is also 1. Because I power 8 is nothing but I power 4 the whole square. That is 1 square. So that is equal to 1. Hence I power 10 value, if you try to calculate it, it will become I power 8 into I square, but I power 8 value is 1 into I square. So it repeats. So there is no need of worrying. So in this type of problems, you can split like this. First 4, next 4, next 4. But the condition is the power should be in this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. It must go in a continuous order. If it's so, you can do like this. So if you take the first 4 terms, if the answer is 0, and if you select the next 4 terms, that answer will be also equal to 0 surely. This is the methodology. This is the method that we are going to follow. So you keep this in your mind. It is very, very important. In case whenever you do these type of problems, if your power of I goes more than 4, better to split the powers with the multiples of 4. That is I power 4, I power 8, I power 12, I power 16, like that. You have to split the power. For example, let me say, if this is your I power 11, you can split it as I power 8 into I power 3. I power 8, it comes under this section. I power 4 or I power 8 or I power 12 or I power 16, the answer is 1. So if you write this I power 11 as I power 8 into I power 3, then you know very well I power 8 value is 1. So the net result is simply I power 3. So whenever you do a problem, if the power goes beyond 4, you can split I to the powers with multiples of 4. Then that answer will become 1 and the remaining will be the thing what we have to calculate. So in this problem, first 4 terms would be taken, next 4 terms would be taken, and the next 4 terms would be taken. So if you simplify, as I told you, it will be like this, right? This is your first 4 term. This 4 terms, if you simplify using the technique of I power 4n is equal to 1, you will be getting this. And if you simplify this, you will be getting this. As we have simplified already, I plus I square plus I cube plus I power 4 value is 0. So this answer is 0, this answer is also 0, and this answer is also 0. So your net result will be equal to 0. It is very, very simple. In the same way, let us try to do one more sum. That is sigma n is equal to 1 to 10 I to the power n plus 50. So we have to sum this I to the powers from n is equal to 1 to 50. Now don't try to substitute n values straight away, because you can split this I power n plus 50 as I power n into I power 50. This is a formula, that is a power m plus n can be written as a power m into a power n. In this order we can split this, right? Now you know this. This is a variable, this is a summation, its variable is n. Here you have no n value, simply a constant, that is I power 50. So this I power 50 can be taken outside the summation sigma. So that is I power 50 into sigma n is equal to 1 to 10 I to the power n. Right. Here we can do nothing. We have to expand it, no other go. For n I have to substitute 1, then I have to put plus, then we have to write n is equal to 2, then we have to put plus, and we have to go up to the power 10. So if you expand it, your answer will be like this, right? This I power 50, we can write this as I square the whole power 25. And we have written the same. I square value is minus 1. Minus 1 to the power 25 is nothing but the same minus 1 into, it is expanded. That is I power 1 plus I power 2 plus I power 3, and it goes up to I power 10. As I told you already, if it goes in this order 1, 2, 3, 4, and if it continues, if it goes like this, so you can do the same old method. This method, this is very, very, very simple, because I plus I square plus I cube plus I power 4 will give you the answer as 0, and if the power goes more than 4, split the power with I to the power 4n. That is I power 5 can be written as I to the power 4 into I. I power 4 value is 1. 1 into I is I. If you take I power 7, you can simplify this as I power 4 into I power 3. I power 4 value is 1, as I told you. So 1 into I cube. So if you try to simplify this after I power 4, this will become the same way. This is I square, this is I cube, this is I power 4. So this summation value is 0, this summation value is 0, and you can try to calculate these two. So it is very simple if you follow this method. I hope you can do this problem. So please try to do this problem by yourself, and you can see so many sums are there in your textbooks. You can try to do all those problems, and if you practice it, it will be very, very easy for you to do. Thank you.